He has an apartment in New York, and the thought of it was something that I had to come to grips with.
Quick tour of the house. Let me turn the lights off so you can see.
Kandi Burruss and Todd Tucker are officially divorced, and before you tell me you already know, trust me, you don't know it like this. Because I didn't just read the headlines. I went and pulled the actual court documents, the official docket, the real receipts, and what's inside. Some of it is going to genuinely surprise you. We're breaking this down section by section: the prenup battle, alimony, custody, child support, the money, the properties, all of it. Stay with me. Quick note, I didn't rush to cover this the moment it dropped. That was on purpose. Headlines alone don't tell the full story on legal cases like this. I wanted the actual documents in front of me before I said anything. So yes, I'm a little late, but I promise it was worth the wait. Let's start at the foundation, the prenuptial agreement, because this is the document that determined the outcome of everything else. Kandi had a prenup going into this marriage. Smart. She built her career, her businesses, and her wealth long before Todd came into the picture. Protecting that wasn't cold. It was necessary. Now here's where it gets interesting. Todd challenged it. His argument was that he signed under duress, that the agreement was handed to him at the last minute, that he didn't have proper time to review it with his own attorney, and that he essentially signed under pressure. And to be fair, that is a real legal argument. Courts have thrown out prenups on those exact grounds before. But Kandi does not play about her money. The prenup held, Todd's challenge failed, and that one outcome shaped the entire settlement. Everything you're about to hear flows from that. Let me be direct about what would have happened if that prenup had been invalidated. Kandi's businesses could have been subject to division. Her income, from music, television, restaurants, production, could have been split. We're talking about an empire that generates millions. On top of that, long-term spousal support could have been ordered. Monthly alimony payments stretching out for years. The prenup stood between Kandi and all of that, which is exactly why Todd's team went after it first. Take out the prenup, and the entire financial picture of this divorce changes. The court kept it intact. And that's the real headline here. Now let's talk about alimony. And I'm reading directly from the document here because the language says exactly what it means. Neither party shall pay alimony. Both Kandi and Todd have waived all rights. Periodic payments, lump sum, property in lieu of, everything. Past, present, and future. Done. Plain English, no monthly checks, no lump sum payout walking out the door, nothing, and coming out. Of a heavily contested divorce where the prenup was challenged, that ruling is massive. It tells you everything about how the court viewed this case. Moving to custody, and this is more nuanced than the headlines suggest. Both parents received joint legal custody and joint physical custody, equal parenting time. But here's the detail that matters. Decision-making authority is split by category. Kandi has final say on medical decisions and education. Todd has final say on extracurricular activities and religion. Why structure it that way? Because these two clearly couldn't agree on everything. So instead of leaving every disagreement open to ongoing litigation, they carved out defined lanes. Each parent owns their category. It keeps co-parenting functional even when the relationship isn't. This came up during proceedings, and it's worth talking about. Todd argued that Kandi travels too much, implying she wasn't present enough to have equal custody. Kandi's response? Todd, you travel just as much as I do. And then, it came out that the nanny had been spending a significant amount of time with the children. There's a joke going around in the comments, give the nanny the child support. I'm not saying it's wrong, but in all seriousness, the travel argument fell apart quickly, once both sides were examined equally. Hence, equal custody. Here's something that surprised people. There are no periodic child support payments, no monthly check from one parent to the other. Instead, the financial responsibilities are divided by category. Kandi covers the children's health insurance. She pays 100% of private school tuition if that path is chosen. Both parents split uncovered medical expenses 50-50. What this does is eliminate the ongoing financial transaction between two people who will likely have tension for years. Each parent owns their piece. It's clean, it's defined, and it removes a major source of potential conflict. Now the assets, starting with the separate property clause. This is essentially the prenup showing up in the final order and doing exactly what it was built to do. Each party keeps everything titled in their own name. No claims, no splitting. That includes bank accounts, investments, stocks, crypto, all of it. Retirement accounts, business interests, LLCs, partnerships, intellectual property, and all real and personal property. And critically, even assets that grew in value during the marriage are protected as long as they were titled individually. That is the prenup working exactly as designed. A wall built around Kandi's empire before the marriage ever started. And after a fully contested divorce, that wall didn't move. Quick side note, Todd had a condo in New Jersey, originally purchased purchased with a former partner. He paid it off himself after that relationship ended. During the marriage, Kandi reportedly wasn't happy about him keeping it. He kept it anyway. In hindsight, smart move. Titled in his name, paid off by him. Under the separate property clause, it's his. No dispute. As for the marital property, things that were genuinely shared, the split is described as equitable. Equitable doesn't mean 50-50. It means fair under the circumstances. The goal was equal in value unless otherwise stated. Kandi keeps certain real properties, Todd keeps his. Specific addresses are sealed from the public record.
You know, he has an apartment in New York, and the thought of it was something that I had to come to grips with.
Quick tour of the house. Let me turn the lights off so you can see.
On logistics, Todd has 10 business days to vacate any business property and 15 days to vacate the guest house. Clock started ticking at settlement execution. Now the money. The equalization payment is $517,500, but Todd owes $91,111.23, aid to wives lease termination fee tied to old lady gang. Subtract what he owes, and the adjusted amount Kandi pays Todd is $426,388.77. Breakdown: $250,000 due within 5 days of execution, the remaining $176,000 within 90 days. And I'm not skipping this, the American Express reward points must be split equally. They itemized the points. Every single thing of value was accounted for. The Atlanta Hawks tickets are under Kandi's contract. Todd paid $38,000 for the current season, but going forward, games are split through a draft-style selection process. They alternate who picks first each year. Todd must pay his monthly invoices by the 15th. Miss the payment, lose access. Simple. This arrangement holds until Todd secures his own contract. The Atlanta Falcons tickets? Those stay with Kandi entirely. No obligation to share or offer them to Todd. She keeps them. Full stop. One important thing, the business separation details are sealed, redacted from the public record. Whatever was negotiated on that side, we don't have access to it. And that's almost certainly intentional. The business dealings between two people who were romantically and professionally intertwined for years are probably the most financially significant part of this whole settlement. That conversation happened behind closed doors, and it's staying there. And because she's Kandi, she's not walking away quietly. She's walking onto a stage. Her one-woman show is called I Do, I Did, I'm Done. April 27th, City Winery, Atlanta. Music, storytelling, and unfiltered truth. Sold out in under 24 hours. More dates are coming, whether you see that as healing, hustle, or both. You have to respect the timing. So that's the full breakdown. The prenup that held firm, the alimony that was waived completely, the custody split with defined decision-making lanes, the child support structured by obligation instead of payments, the properties, the numbers, the sports tickets, and the sealed business details we may never fully know. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this settlement was fair? Was Todd's prenup challenge ever going to work, or was it always a losing battle? And what do you think about the custody and child support setup? Drop it all in the comments. I read everyone. And if you're here for real document breakdowns, not rumors, not recycled gossip, subscribe and hit that bell, because the receipts don't lie, and I'll always bring them to you.